Chijioke's story is very heartbreaking. It's not a very strange one because in many countries where there is police brutality or where we have government that stifles the voices of the people, people disappear every time. Millions of people have disappeared across the world, and no one has answers. Their family and friends have no idea where they are. And so Chijioke's story is sad. It also highlights the fight of a sister who refuses to give up. November 2012, Anambra State, Nigeria. The sun cast a golden glow over Ajali in Orumba, where 20-year-old Chijioke Iloanya attended a friend's child education. Laughter filled the air, and the scent of jollof and fried meats lingered. It was a celebration of life, of joy. Then, without warning, everything changed. Police officers stormed the house, their boots pounding against the floor as they rounded up young men, including Chijioke. They did not say why, but someone had reported that some boys were partying very loudly. They did not also say where they were taking him. And just like that, he was gone. When his parents heard the news, his mother rushed down to the station. Because she was a woman, she was refused the ability to bail her son. She went home heartbroken but ready to return with Chijioke's father or any male. When she returned very early the next day, she got shocking news. "Your son is not here," an officer told her coldly. She was told that he had been transferred to Okozo. Okozo? His parents rushed to the notorious and deadly Special Anti-Robbery Squad SAS headquarters in Okozo, desperate for answers. They were told that their son was not there. However, through the doors, they saw him. Chijioke was indeed there. They saw him and other boys being marched into a room. His mother's heart leaped. At least, they had found him. She called out to him, but before he could respond, an officer stepped forward. She pleaded, begged, and fell to her knees. Someone whispered that money might help. Many police officers are known to be very corrupt. The family gathered everything they had. Days passed. She kept going back. Each time she was ignored and turned away like she was nothing. Then one day she was called in to see the officer in charge, CSP James Nwafo. She stood before him trembling, praying for mercy. And then he said the words that shattered her world. "I have killed your son, and there is nothing you can do about it." Those words hit like hammer. She gasped, her vision blurred, her body swayed. She collapsed on the spot. Her husband rushed to her side, then quickly drove her to the hospital. She survived, but something inside her died that day. Her husband refused to believe, not yet, not without proof. In his grief, he made the ultimate sacrifice. So, Chijioke's father sold a piece of land. And it was not just an ordinary piece of land. It's a land where some years earlier he had buried his daughter who died suddenly. So that land really meant so much to him, but he had to sell this land just to raise money to perhaps get back his son Chijioke. I mean, imagine the sadness of selling off your piece of land where you buried your daughter, and this land means so much to you, and you lose the land and still you don't have your son. And perhaps you pass by every day and see that development has happened there. There are buildings there over the grave of your child, and you don't have that chance anymore to visit her grave. He offered the money to James Nwafo. Nwafo did not take the money. He told them that the money was small, but even if it was a huge amount, it could not bring back their son. They left brokenhearted. Then one day, he heard that some bodies had been dumped in a river. He got into his car and drove the long distance to the river bank, his heart pounding desperately. The stench of death filled the air. Flies and vultures hovered. The water was thick with blotted bodies. He stepped into the murky river, wading through rotten corpses, turning them over one by one, his hands trembling, his breath fast as his heart pounded. He prayed not to find his son, but even if he was there, he could at least get the chance to bury him in dignity. But Chijioke was not there. That day, something in him broke beyond repair. Their daughter Obianoju was just 17 years old when her brother was taken. She watched her parents fall apart, drowning in grief. Her father had searched through a river of corpses. Her mother had collapsed from heartbreak. But still, nobody was ever returned. No proof, no justice. As Obianuju grew older, she refused to let her brother's name fade. When Nigerians took to the streets in 2020 under the End SARS movement, demanding an end to police brutality, she stood at the front. She told the world about her brother. She called out CSP James Swanford by name. And she did not stop there. She became a voice for other families whose loved ones had disappeared at the hands of the police. Mothers who still wept, fathers who still searched, siblings who still hoped. She turned her pain into a relentless fight for justice. SARS was disbanded, but promises meant little. In 2024, the Nigerian Senate demanded answers about Chijioke's case. The Inspector General of Police responded. The records are missing. The officers involved have retired. The files cannot be found. Chijioke has been erased from their system, but not from the hearts of those who loved him. His parents, now older, battling health challenges, still hold on to one thing: hope. They still believe that one day Chijioke will return. They will hug him, hold him tight, and never let go. To them, Chijioke is not just another victim. He is still alive somewhere. They still refuse to address him in the past tense. He likes 50 cents, likes fashion, and enjoys dressing up. According to Obianuju, Chijioke is kind, very funny, generous, and a little naughty. Has always wanted to be a fashion designer and to be a businessman. And days before Chijioke went missing, it was as if the mother had the premonition, and she told everybody to stay home, don't stay out late, don't hang out, just be home. She felt this sense of darkness. Unfortunately, Chijioke went out on that sad night in November and has not returned until this day. I go along with the family and I refuse to address him in the past tense, because I have faith with them that one day he's going to return. They're still waiting and they're still hoping.